जयो राधे जयो कृष्णा जयो वृंदावन श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन। श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन कालिंदी यमुना जयो जयो महावन। श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन कालिंदी यमुना जयो महावन। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जयो राधे जयो कृष्णा जयो वृंदावन श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन। जय श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय, श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। Will it fit in? I'll have to push it to my neck. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudhiraye नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमो पङ्कजनाभाय नमो पङ्कजमालिने नमो पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रे। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम्। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तान् सञ्जीवयत किल शक्तिधरा स्वधाम्ना अन्यांशः हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। कथाञ्चना स्मृते यस्मिन् दुष्करं सुकरं भवेत् विस्मृते विपरीतं स्यात् श्रीचैतन्य नमामि तम्। Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you to our session today evening on chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna. So today we will discuss how we can improve our relationship with the holy names of Krishna, how we can chant better. So first a little bit of context. All the techniques that we discuss are ultimately useless because we are not going to conquer Krishna or get Krishna by our techniques. The holy name is not achieved. Pure chanting is not achieved. Pure holy name is received. Bhakti is not about getting something. Bhakti is about receiving. So you may say, okay, then why do we have a seminar on chanting? Why do we discuss the techniques of chanting? It is to show Krishna that we are sincere and we want to improve our relationship with Krishna. And we show our sincerity by making some efforts, hoping that Krishna will be pleased and then out of his own sweet pleasure, he will give us taste. So taste for pure chanting is a gift that Krishna gives. But enthusiasm is our effort. So we can only practice enthusiasm, and then when we sincerely present this to Krishna, Krishna will give us taste. So we are doing this seminar today also, and we are going to discuss how to chant. But the whole idea is, when we discuss this, please remember, we are not trying to be controllers. We come to material world trying to be controller and enjoyer. Then we come to spiritual life, and here also we think I can control my spiritual life. Bhakti yoga is based on receiving grace. So this has to be very, very clear. Otherwise, we will become Mayavadis in the guise of devotees. We will do holy name seminars, but always our mood will be how I can conquer, how I can be great yogi. We are not yoga, we are not yogis, mystic, dhyan yogis. We are bhakti yogis. So our mood is humility. Our mood is, begging Krishna for help, for grace. So this is the introduction. In this mood, we approach the chanting. And then we experience wonderful levels of happiness and spiritual realization. So now, coming to chanting. How many of you are chanting some rounds of Hare Krishna Japa every day on your beats? Hare Krishna, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So this will be useful for those who chant every day with a disciplined manner, some rounds. Some of us chant for 2 hours, 16 rounds. Some of us chant for 1 hour. So we chant like this: Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, like that we chant. And then when round is over, we pull the counter beat down. So like this we chant for many years. Some of us are chanting 16 rounds every day for 25 years. Some of us have just begun chanting. Now, there are some basic etiquette or basic rules that we need to follow. If you don't follow them, what happened? Okay. If you don't follow these basic rules, then what will happen? We will get bad habits. And those bad habits will make us very disconnected from chanting. So today we'll discuss some good habits or good methods by which we can chant like this every day for the rest of our lives happily. Because one of the biggest challenges is because chanting becomes boring. Because chanting is not, it's all about the mind, right? Physically you're not doing anything. You're just sitting and fingering the beats. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. 2 hours you're sitting like this. It is not exciting. It is not stimulating. And today we are living in an age of stimulation. Constantly you need a dopamine kick on your smartphone. And sitting like this on the bead bag, very boring. Therefore, see, if you are playing tennis, if you are learning karate, if you are learning Bharatanatyam, there is activity going on. There is action. Right? That's why it is easy to concentrate. Because there is some activity. Whereas chanting is all about the mind. It's all about absorbing your heart in Krishna. Therefore, it's very easy to get distracted while chanting. Therefore, we need some very, very good basic practices and habits. So that's the introduction. That is the basic premise of our discussion on chanting. So now, the most important thing to understand is there are 2 levels at which we chant. First level is we are struggling with we are living in the world of our mind. When I say mind, I mean mind plus intelligence plus ego. Combining all of that, we are calling it as mind. So one level of chanting is at the level of the mind. Hare Krishna, struggling. Mind is going everywhere. Sometimes we are indulgent. Many of us chant at the level of the mind. When we become sincere, for the first level of sincerity is when we rise from the level of the mind and we chant at the level of the soul. This is the first level of sincerity. We rise from the mind and reach the level of the soul. Today we'll discuss and we'll do an exercise by which you can reach the level of the soul while chanting. And this is going to be intense, but it will be very, very immediately you'll get benefits. So first level of chanting is our very low level where we are living in the world of the mind, but we become sincere when we rise from the world of the mind and come to the level of the soul. That is the first level of sincerity. Then there are some pure devotees who don't even chant at the level of the soul. They go higher. They chant at the level of the soul's emotional dynamics and relationship with Krishna, at the level of the super self. So that also we will study what it is. And then, so basically we are going to discuss two levels of chanting. First level of chanting is how from the world of our own mind, worries, anxiety, ego, intelligence, all that kachra, how to get out of this level and come to the level of the soul. That is the first topic we'll discuss now. After that, we will discuss how from the level of the soul we can enter the world of Krishna in our chanting. Is that okay? So all of you have something to write on, because I'm going to give an exercise, either your smartphone or paper, pen, because there is one interesting exercise. If you do, you will understand how to recognize the soul, how to be at the level of the soul. So we are going to do soul level awareness exercise now, by which you can come to the platform of soul immediately. This is going to be very, very powerful exercise. This is a life-changing exercise. So you need to be present and you can't be just sitting and watching. You will feel lost. First we will do a writing exercise and then we will do with the beats. Okay, so before we go ahead, what is the context or what is the disclaimer before this chanting seminar that we discussed? What is most important for us to remember before we discuss anything on improving chanting? We cannot conquer Krishna. We are not here to become great yogis. Bhakti is not about achieving. Bhakti is about receiving grace. Then why are we discussing these techniques? To show our sincerity to Krishna. So then we discussed two levels of chanting. First level of chanting, sincere chanting. First level of sincerity is where we rise from the mind, intelligence, ego to the level of the soul. Then we'll discuss how the soul has exchanges with Krishna, the dynamics. So that is what we'll discuss. First level is where we approach Harinam and we transcend our mind. So how do we do that? So please understand that I am not the body. I am the soul. Also, I am not the mind. I am the soul. All of us, our identity is merged with the mind. Even when we chant, it is our mind only talking. So today we will first learn how to separate yourself from your mind. Once you learn how to separate yourself from your mind, then your chanting will also become, then it will be easy for you to chant also at the level of the soul, because you will be able to separate you, the I, the soul, from the mind. Right? Imagine what a great power it is if you are separated from your mind. I say this is my shawl. That means the shawl is different, I am different. Similarly, this is my mind. That means mind is different, I am different. But we don't understand we are different because the mind and we are merged. So how do we separate the mind from our soul? It is a practice called awareness. When you become aware, when you become present, when you live in the now, your mind and you become separate. Example, this is a hall. Are you aware of this hall? No? What do you mean aware? What can you observe in this hall? In the hall you are observing how to do chanting. I don't understand what you're saying. I'm asking a simple question. What is your awareness of this hall? The deities are there. So you are aware of the deities. What else are you aware of in this room? Devotees. What else? What can you observe?
The dimensions of the hall, the window, the ceiling, the
You can observe. Huh? Positivity. So I'm seeing now you are saying positivity, you are observing positivity. This is a judgment. So there is a difference between observation and judgment. I am asking you right now, you see this video camera? How is this video camera observing this hall? Is the video camera observing, is the video camera going to say this hall is very hot? Is the video camera going to say there is a lot of positive energy here? What will the video camera say? There is, it will only say there is seminar, there is 10 men, 7 women sitting. There is brownish color curtains, there is windows, there is carpets, there is microphone. Video camera doesn't judge. So, I am asking you to observe this hall as a video camera observes, without judgment. If you tell me, Prabhuji, this hall is very hot, that means it is observation or judgment? Judgment. How many of you, like if I say, Virat Kohli is the greatest cricket batsman, that statement is observation or judgment? If I say Virat Kohli has scored 47 centuries, that is observation. You understood? So can you separate judgment from observation? So now, what do you observe in this hall? Fast. You observe furniture means what? Say specifically something. You observe 2 chairs, you observe 1 chair next to me, you see a garland on my left side, right? You see books, you see gift, you see, not gifts also is vague. You see some clothes, you see beads, right? You see there is a half curtain put for the altar. So if you keep your eyes and ears open, you will learn to observe without judgment. This is the first step of being aware, mindfulness. We say, no, have you heard this? Be present, mindful. Many people talk about being mindful, being present, that is the secret of happiness. A lot of lectures are there. But they don't teach you how to be mindful. The first step of mindful is first observe without judging, like a video camera observes. Now, today we are not discussing about mindfulness or observation. We are talking about chanting, right? So now, this awareness that you have for this hall, now take the video camera inside your mind. Camera, there are 2 worlds, the world outside of us and there is a world inside of you. You agree with that? There is a big world inside. So now take the video camera inside. What do you observe? Sensations in the body. The mind is saying many things. So, but as you try to observe, the mind will say so much that you can't understand, you can't catch the mind only. Therefore, we will learn by using journaling technique how to observe the mind like a video camera observes. Once you become expert in that, then we will use that technique while chanting and separate the mind from the soul. So this is called now journaling or now chanting. So we are going to switch on the video camera. And you are going to write, when I say start, okay, when I say start, you will start writing. And you will write whatever, you will write as if the video camera is observing the world inside of you. Getting it? I'll explain here carefully now. I'll explain how to do it, but please understand the technique. So you will write something like this. If I have to write now, I will write like this. My mind. So first of all, I'll separate myself from my mind. My mind is saying, get up and go to the washroom. No, I will not actually get up and go. I will just then full stop. Now my mind is saying, I hope you are not fed dinner today because I have no hunger. Full stop. Now my mind is saying, I think you should eat soup. Now my mind is saying, I wish I get some paratas. Now my mind is saying, you should fast for the next 24 hours. Whatever the mind is saying. Have you observed this? Mind says contradictory things. So now my mind is saying that your chanting is useless. Now my mind is saying, you should chant more. Now my mind is saying, this seminar is useless. Whatever the mind is saying, you write it in third person. Instead of saying, I am feeling hungry, I want to go to washroom. See, all that you are feeling is all mind only talking. So we are going to do simple exercise of separating yourself from your mind. You are getting it? This is called now writing. Like, I given a name to my mind. I have given two names. Sometimes when my mind is not so bad behavior, small trouble, I call them, I give her a feminine name. It sounds sweet, Chanchal. So I say today Chanchal is very tired. I give the name for my mind, Chanchal. Today So, it's like as if I have a companion, I have a spouse. I am brahmachari, I am not married. But I am married to, my wife's name is Chanchal. But Chanchal sounds very sweet. So I don't give that sweet name. So sometimes mind is very harassing a lot. So sometimes I call my mind as Golum. Golum. Gollum. So when we were in school, we had the J.R. Tolkien's books, Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. So there was one character called Gollum in that, both the books. It's a long story. Gollum is serving his master Frodo Baggins, but he's also plotting to kill him. He's a servant of his master, but he's also trying to kill his master. He is the biggest villain of this Lord of the Rings. Not the biggest villain. Anyway, that's a long story. So I find my mind is Gollum. Mind is supposed to be my servant, but my mind is constantly creating problems for me. So I say, now Gollum is very angry with these three devotees for not recognizing your service. Now Gollum says you should write an email. Now Gollum says stop your japa and go and write an email now. Whatever the mind is saying, just observe like a video camera. Don't judge. If you write, my mind is so bad, my mind just never cooperates, my mind is so bad, evil, my mind is troubling me so much. You sometimes feel like that? And if you write that, you have been tricked by the mind. It's not you who is feeling. Don't think you are so advanced that you can see that, oh, my mind is troubling me. When you are saying that, it's actually your mind only saying. Your mind has come through the back door. Front doors and mind. When you stop the front door and stop the mind from entering through the front door, the mind knows how to come from the altar door, back door. So mind is very tricky. So don't think you are so advanced that you can feel like Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, Amito Kamer Das, I am fallen, I am worm in the stool, I am a pig. This is pure devotees praying at the level of soul. We are not discussing that. We are discussing chanting at level 1 now, where we have to separate ourselves from our mind. Right now, even when you condemn yourself, it is your mind only talking. So mind is very nasty. Did you understand what I am saying? Separating yourself from your mind. In fact, in one workshop, one of the girls, so I said, you can give a name to your mind. So after the workshop, one girl, maybe 19, 20-year-old, she said, Prabhuji, I given a good name for my mind. I said, what name? She know what name she gave for her mind? Because I told them, I given the name Chanchal, I given the name Gollum. She said, I have given the name Dushasan for my mind. Because the mind is harassing me, making me do so many things which I don't. Mind is forcing me to do so many things which I don't know. I'm helpless in the face of my mind. So I like that. The idea is, you don't have to do all of that. Just basically the idea is you separate yourself from your mind. You don't have to be so creative. You can just say, mind is saying this, mind is saying that. Whatever the mind is saying at that moment. And you know what will happen when you write? By the time you complete the sentence, you will realize that within that 7 seconds or 8 seconds that you wrote one sentence, your mind has gone to 10 topics. Whatever the last topic, whatever the last thing the mind has said, you write that. And by the time you complete that sentence, you will see the mind has gone to 25 other topics. So keep writing, keep writing. And when I say stop, you know what will happen after this 3 minutes of writing? Can you imagine what will happen to you? You will feel, wow. You will feel as if, like I am sitting here. Is there anybody sitting on this chair? No. But when you write like this for 5 minutes, after the end of that, you will see your mind is sitting next to you. You will see you are different from your mind. Are you at least able to see the logic and merit in what I am saying? Can you do this exercise? Is it confusing? Any doubts? Any questions? Can you do it? So what will you write? How will you write? As a third person. Just like, somebody else is with you and somebody else is talking constantly. Just observe that person talking. Like a video camera. Don't judge. Don't say, now my mind is uncooperative. Don't say, now my mind is abusing me. Abuse is a judgment. Non-cooperation of judgment. You just write what the mind is saying. All of you understood it, right? Can you write it for 3 to 5 minutes? Who is telling you to chant? Did I say a word? Did I tell you to chant? Chanting को क्यों ला रहे हो बीच में? Hare Krishna. Can you write? You can do both, is it? Chanting and writing? Wow, I didn't know. Okay, we'll start. Your time starts now. Very important, don't stop the pen. If you go blank, write, mind is going blank. Mind is refusing to write. Mind is refusing to speak. Don't stop writing. The moment you stop writing, you have lost the game. Don't stop. Just keep writing. Even if you go blank, write. Mind is saying, Prabhuji has given a very stupid exercise. Mind is refusing to say anything. You can't stop the pen. Don't stop typing. Don't stop, Mataji. Keep writing. Keep writing. Just 10 seconds more. Keep writing. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Please stop writing. Now just spend 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Just read what you have written. Slowly, but read. I'll give you some time. Just read it once. Slowly. Okay? Done? So congratulations. What you have done is you have switched on the video camera, and the last 5 minutes what you did, you observed your mind. I think this is for many of you first time you did it. First time you must have switched on the video camera and seen the world inside of you, right? Imagine you are able to do this for 2-3 minutes every day. What will happen one day? One day you will see that you are walking, you will always notice that there is mind on your left side. You will always see yourself as separate from your mind. So now we are going to do chanting with this understanding how I am not the mind. And then we will chant in such a way that when we are chanting, generally what we are doing, we are sitting like this and chanting Hare Krishna, right? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. But when we are saying Hare Krishna Ram, when we are listening to the sound, whom are we listening to? The sound Hare, Krishna and Ram. This sound is who? Krishna. So when we are listening to the holy name, we are supposed to be listening to Krishna. But when we are chanting, we are generally listening to mind. So when we are chanting, please understand, you are sitting like this. There are two people next to you. On your left side is your mind. 10 foot tall. Big demon with horns coming out. And is constantly talking. And you are doing what? You are chanting like this? No. You are externally appearing to everybody, you are sitting like this and chanting. But internally what you are doing? You are nodding your head and listening to what this demon is saying. And you are, yes sir, yes sir. And he is constantly shouting. Yes, yes, yes. But you are not realizing that as you are chanting, on your right side there is somebody else. Who is there on your right side? Krishna. And Krishna is speaking very softly. And we are supposed to be while chanting. Externally we are sitting like this, but internally we are supposed to be listening to Krishna, who is come as Hare, Krishna and Ram. But we are not able to listen to Krishna. Why? Our neck is, for chanting is all about how to get the neck, move the neck from here to here. That is all chanting about. But we are not able to look at Krishna, we are not able to listen to the Krishna because our mind only we are listening. For the first step is to become aware that the mind is separate from me. And second is slowly start listening to the holy names. So now when you are going to chant, again now you are going to chant for 5 minutes. I am going to say stop, till that time you will start chanting. And again I'll explain how to chant. Only when I say start, you will start chanting. Those of you who don't have beats, Prabhuji will give.
Whoever don't have beats, please raise your hand.
So please listen to me as I explain. So when you are chanting, so externally we will all chant like this. You, at your own pace, in your own way, you will chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Right? Don't chant now. I'll explain. Then you chant. Okay? So when you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is externally. Internally, what is happening? The mind is talking, and we are helpless. We can't fight the mind. And we are supposed to be not listening to the mind, but listening to Krishna. But if you keep fighting, no, I want to listen to the Krishna, I want to listen to the holy name, you will get tired after 2 minutes of chanting. That is why devotees, after chanting 16 rounds for so many years, they are always tired. Because whole chanting is fighting. So people, lectures we say, meditation will make you energized, fresh. But devotees come and secretly tell, Prabhuji, after chanting I feel exhausted. Chanting is supposed to refreshen me, because you are not chanting, you are not listening to Krishna, you are fighting with the mind. So what we will do, just like while writing what you are doing, you are aware. You didn't judge your, did you say, did anybody write my mind is rascal? No, you just said my mind is saying this. My mind. So now when you are going to chant for the next 5 minutes, you are not going to judge your mind. Any thought, emotion comes. See, emotions are needed. We'll discuss later in the next second type of chanting. Right now, any emotion comes, recognize that as a mind only talking. And gently become aware. And come back to listening to Krishna. Gently. I'll repeat this 100 times. Gently matlab, see, if you have dumbbells, those who have gone to exercise, you have done, if you take dumbbells and if you do like this, what will happen? Your muscles will go, sprain. Similarly, when you are dealing with the mind, you can't just fight with the mind. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Oh, you will go crazy. Mind will go crazy. Gently do dumbbells. Gently come back to Krishna. So when you are chanting, it will happen like this. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Mind will say. So how many of you have experienced during chanting mind wandering? Oh, thank you. You are all normal people. Congratulations. If you say my mind doesn't wander, then you will have to see some psychiatrist. Or you are pure devotee of Krishna. Generally, mind wandering means congratulations, normal, so don't have to take tension. It's okay. In fact, I have a whole seminar on how mind wandering is good. That's another topic. Sometimes mind wandering helps you. Well, I'm a writer. Mind wandering helps in creativity. But not while chanting. There's a different time for mind wandering. Like when you go for a walk, mind should wander, creativity. But while chanting, mind is not supposed to wander. So, no, I'm taking some time to explain the technique so that you get it right. Just like all of you wrote nicely, Now in chanting also you can do very nicely. So mind will talk. And in this 5 minutes, it may happen that for almost 1 minute, your mind was going everywhere. And then suddenly you remember the mind had wandered. And what are you supposed to do while chanting? What is the goal I gave you? Listen to the 3 words. Hare, Krishna and Ram. And you will realize you didn't listen. And when you realize you didn't listen, then you will feel, oh, it is so bad. I can't chant. That is not you saying. That is, mind only will take you everywhere, and then the mind only will say, see, you can't chant. Means, so don't get too excited when you realize after 2 minutes, in these last 2 minutes my mind was wandering. No. It's a mind talking, you become aware, and then gently come back to listen to the holy name. This is called awareness. Just recognizing that the mind is saying all these things. And eventually you'll come to a stage where you'll be able to separate yourself from your mind. How many times you stood in front of the deities and prayed, and then when you came out of the hall, if you are asked, you are standing 5 minutes in front of deities and you are praying, what are the color of the dress of the deities? And suddenly you don't know. I said, why? Why? Because you were not present. One day I was praying like this in front of deities in Chowpatty. This is a real story. This is recently. So one devotee was observing. I didn't know he is looking at me. He is thinking, Prabhuji is praying so intensely. So for 15 minutes I was standing in front of deities like this. You know how I was praying? Now externally it was like this. So everybody is thinking Prabhuji is praying. But internally, you know what is happening? Internally, the soul, the I is supposed to tell Krishna, I love you. Whatever emotions, it's all about soul and Krishna. But that soul's offering was not happening because the mind was talking. So how the prayer session began? In the inner world. I'm not talking about externally, everything is normal. Internally, what is happening? It began with the sincere prayer. Very sincere prayer of the soul. Krishna, please, please help Mayank Prabhu. He is going through a divorce. He is a very nice devotee. Please help him. His wife is also such a nice person. Please help them resolve their conflict, Krishna. Please, they are such a nice couple. This is how, for the first 10-15 seconds, this is the way it is going. Krishna, please help them. And then my soul is offering this prayer, and suddenly that soul's connection with Krishna got lost because the mind took over. And the prayer began something like this. Oh, Mayank and his wife will divorce. His wife looks exactly like that Chetan, in London, Chetan's wife. She also looks exactly like him, and they also went through divorce. I think both their divorce is happening because of their wives only. And these women are like that only, both of them. And this Chetan's wife, she looks exactly like your Babi, who died in that bike crash in 1992. Just see what's happening. Where is the mind gone? It takes me 9 hours to take a flight from Mumbai to London. But mind went to London how fast? In 1 second. Oh, Mayank se Chetan ka wife London mein hai. In 1 second. And from 2023 it went to 1992. Mind is such a powerful speed. Remember, your Babi died in that bike accident. She looked exactly like Chetan's wife. And this bike, the BST big bus came and hit the bike. And she was wearing helmet. Still she died on the spot. And her 6-year-old son was holding her and he didn't have any helmet and nothing happened to him. Actually, these BST bus drivers are very bad. They don't know how to drive. And remember that when you were in college, that bus came and hit that auto rickshaw wala, and he also died on the spot outside that high court. Remember? And remember that high court, one day you saw one man running with the dragger soaked in blood. And after that you went with your friends to watch a movie. In that movie the hero was also running with the dragger soaked in blood. That movie was very nice. That movie won many national awards. And those 4 friends with whom we watched the movie, they are now settled in different parts of the world, and one of them is in London. Oh, London mein Chetan bhi hai. Chetan ka divorce ho gaya. Mayank. So I came back to Mayank. After going through the whole world. Pura journey, okay. And then suddenly I realized, where was I? Okay, Krishna, I'm coming back to Mayank. Please help. So again, I have to come back to be present. So in that 15 minutes of standing in front of deities, maybe I actually prayed for total 40 seconds or 50 seconds. But it was worth it because I was gently coming back to the present. And I'm able to speak all of this to you because of awareness. Because I could see, the success is not that you are able to always be present. Success is not that your soul is connected to Krishna. The success at our stage, at the first round, is to become aware that the mind is wandering. That is our biggest success right now. Did you understand what I'm saying? Can you do this exercise? What will you do? Okay, what will you do now when I say start? Okay, one by one. What will you do? 5 minutes you will do japa. What will you do during japa? 5 minutes japa. Raise your hand if you want to say. Yes. You try to listen to Krishna, Hare and Ram. And then what will happen when what else you will do? Not just the mind. Means what? What you will do? Gently pull the mind back if you realize that the mind is wandering. Become aware and come back. So while chanting, who is sitting next to you? Krishna and mind. And we are listening to the mind. So when you realize that your mind is talking, you become aware, come back to the present and turn to Krishna. Your head is default setting going on the left side. You know, in Chaitanya Charitamrita there is the story of that Gopinath Patnaik selling that horses to king's son who had an idiosyncrasy. His neck could always keep going like this. So that Gopinath Patnaik made fun of the king's son. The king's son said, "You are charging too much for the horses." So he said sarcastically, "At least my horses don't keep moving the neck like this." But the king's son got very angry and he sent him to Changa, sentenced death punishment to him. So he had this idiosyncrasy. Neck was going always like this. So we may think it is a very embarrassing habit or bodily, bodily handicap. We may think like that. But all of us have that handicap in the inner world. We are mentally little handicapped. The self is constantly going where? Chitta is going where? To the mind, listening to the mind. So now we are being trained to, Siddha rakho. Okay? Can you do this? So when I say start, you are going to, you will do like this. See, just observe me now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Externally normal chal raha hai, but internally gently keep coming back to the present moment. This is called NOW Japa. Okay, can we start? The time starts now. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much for doing this exercise. So could you see, could you come back to the present moment? No? Yeah, so when you were, see, your mind wandering is not a disqualification. When you realize that your mind is wandering, what do? There must have been moments when you realized your mind was wandering. What did you do at that time? You came back, right? You came back? That means you are doing the exercise properly. If you don't come back, that means you have still have the bad habit of listening to the mind. Mind is constantly talking, you are listening. But when you realize the mind is talking, that is the moment of awareness. And that's when you make the choice of turning away from the mind. Is this clear? If you have done it properly and if you do it every day, then you will be able to chant at this first level of awareness, level of rising above the mind world to the level of the soul. This is level 1 chanting which we wanted to discuss. Level 2 is what? Chanting where the soul is connected with Krishna. And that is the chanting of emotions. Where the soul, Prabhupada says, chanting is the crying of the child for the mother. Right? You have heard this? So now how to do that? If you are practicing the first level of chanting, every day, then search for emotions in your chanting. Which means, you may be in anxiety about your child's health, you may be having insecurity about your finances, you may be feeling deep gratitude for the gifts that you have got from Krishna. So search for an emotion and enter the world of emotions. Connect to Krishna through emotions. But if you are not practicing level 1 chanting, and if you search for emotions during chanting, what will happen? what will happen? Mind what? Don't see me one word, mind. What do you mean? What are you saying? Huh? Mind will take over. You will start listening to the mind. It will not be your genuine emotions for Krishna. So the level 2 chanting is based on emotions. It's all a child crying for the mother. So Srila Prabhupada gave us 2 levels of chanting. Level 1 chanting, Prabhupada said, here, here, here. Then the mind will become clear, clear, clear. Mind will become clear of all the kachra. You have to listen to the holy name. And same Prabhupada also said, chanting is helpless crying of the child for the mother. So we need to do both levels of chanting. Now, if you say, Prabhuji, but it will take me many days to come to level 1 chanting, perfection. Then if I start level 2. No, even now, as you are chanting, as you are trying to listen to the holy name, as you are trying to come back to the sound of the holy name, sometimes you may get so tired by that effort. And you may see how helpless you are. That's when you can offer an emotion. Krishna, help me chant. And that emotion is from the level of the soul. See, this what we are discussing right now is very, very theory. Because it is people who are controlled by the mind talking about the soul's relationship with Krishna. It is completely theoretical. Therefore, we need to practice. We need to practice chanting, offering emotions for Krishna. So wherever you are at this level, you may be attached to your house, your children, your job. Wherever you are, you can offer emotions to Krishna. But not skipping the first level. If you do this level 1 chanting and then offer emotions to Krishna, then you will see there is chanting at the level of the relationship of soul and Krishna. Now, while chanting every day, if you are able to become more aware and separate yourself from your mind, you are situated on the level of the soul. Then emotions will spontaneously also come. There are Srila Prabhupada's statements where Prabhupada says, don't worry about thinking of Vrindavan. Don't worry of remembering or imagining Krishna. Everything will happen. You have heard this? Prabhupada say, it will happen automatically. What he means is, when you are at the level of the soul, when the soul touches the holy name, there is an emotional explosion. That's why there are some people, I know some people who come first time to Hare Krishna, ISKCON, first time they heard Kirtan, tears started coming in their eyes. Have you heard of examples of people who came first time to temple, they found, automatically they felt love. That is because the soul had found shelter. All the barriers and layers had been penetrated and the soul had accessed Krishna. But again, because we are complicated, our mind has such a dominance over our existence, our soul is unable to access the purity of Krishna. Therefore, we are doing these exercises of separating ourselves from our mind. But if you are constantly trying like this, Krishna being pleased will remove all the clutter and suddenly your soul, the I, will touch Krishna's holy name. And when the soul touches the holy name, beautiful emotions of a child finding the parent, all that will happen. But prematurely, we cannot jump into that. Let us begin by focusing on listening to the holy name and becoming more aware of the mind. Krishna is in second floor, we are in ground floor. We have to go to second floor. But the journey is, we have to go to first floor first. We have to climb the stairs and go to first floor. From first floor, there is no stairs. There is no elevator. There is nothing. From first floor to second floor, you can't go. Krishna is in second floor. Krishna will lift you from the first floor. But you can't say, I am in ground floor, Krishna lift me. Krishna will say, no, you have to come to first floor. You have to come to first floor. Then Krishna will lift you. So why I am giving this analogy? Ground floor means our present level of chanting, which is aparadha yukta nam, offensive chanting. First floor means level 1 chanting, which we discussed. Listening to the holy name, also trying to put some emotions. That's level 1 chanting. Then Krishna, if he is pleased, he will lift us to level 2 chanting, where the soul, the spontaneous emotional exchange of the soul with the Lord will happen. The taste. Level 2 is, second floor is taste. Level 1 is enthusiasm. And level 0 is apathy or indifference. So from indifference, we have to come to enthusiasm. And then we are living in that stage, then Krishna will lift us one day and give us taste. That is why you will find Srila Prabhupada giving comments on chanting. Many times he says, what is there? What is the question of mind? Just listen to the holy name. Same Prabhupada also said, the holy name is crying of the child for the mother. Both statements Prabhupada. For this is the way we resolve our confusions about chanting, and we access Krishna's pure holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I will pause here. Any comments or questions for some time we can take. Yes, Prabhu. Then you, and then Narari Priya Prabhu. Yes.
So is there a mic to
I will repeat your question. You speak. He is asking, is there a way you can distinguish between the voice of the mind and voice of the soul and voice of the super soul? Okay. So there is I. The I's emotional expression to Krishna is beyond Vaikari, beyond the level of sound, what we are talking. It's beyond the level of mind, intelligence and ego. It's no point talking that. We can only understand two things. The voice of the mind, that awareness we can have. And sometimes we hear Krishna's voice. These two voices we can identify. How do we know? Sometimes some devotees have confusion. How do I know it is Krishna speaking to me? It could be mind also, no? Like Hitler. Hitler's right-hand man was Himmler, Heinrich Himmler. He is the one who actually exterminated 6 million Jews. He was the brain behind the Holocaust. And he used to carry Bhagavad Gita with him every day. And he said, Hitler is my master, he is Krishna. And I am Arjuna. So, mind, so nasty, mind can tell you, mind can come like this. So you may think, what is the voice of Krishna? What is the voice of mind? So therefore there are some important rules to follow. First, the culture of hearing. What you are doing now is hearing. If you are hearing scriptures, that means you are accessing an intelligence beyond your own. If you have a culture of hearing scriptures, that means you are first of all rightly situated. Otherwise, we are only hearing our mind. So that is first step you are done, tick. If this culture is on, where you have a habit, you have a culture of studying scriptures, means basically accessing an intelligence higher than your own, then you can begin to understand the difference between the two voices, mind and the Krishna. Mind's voice will be generally loud, fast and attached. When you are chanting, the mind will say, get up, check the WhatsApp, now, it's important. You see, it is loud, fast and urgent, attached. Krishna's voice is soft, slow and detached. So you will hear a soft voice saying, don't go anywhere, just chant Hare Krishna. Time will freeze, nothing to worry, just be with me. But the mind will say, no, now you have to check WhatsApp. Then Krishna will withdraw. Krishna will go away. Krishna is not going to pounce on you. Krishna is a silent lover. He is just waiting for you to turn to him. This comes with practice. So, but if you keep thinking, what is my soul's voice, Krishna's voice, mind voice, if you keep thinking like that, that is your mind only talking. It's a mind tricking you. This is called paralysis by analysis. Sometimes we think we are having philosophical questions and we get into so much analysis that analysis is paralysis by analysis. There was a centipede. Centipede has what, 40 legs? 50, many legs. The centipede of dancing. Very nicely, beautifully. The frog came and told the centipede, "You dance so well, but when you are dancing, your 34th leg comes before the 42nd leg. So how do you manage that?" After that question, the frog asked, that was the end of centipede's good dancing. Why? He became conscious. ये पहले जाता है. Analysis causes paralysis. So sometimes we think too much. We have to be careful. We have to let go. That's a struggle, is not a permanent stage. I didn't speak today, we didn't have time. Struggle in chanting, eventually you have to give up that struggle and enter the zone of surrender. You have to let go the struggle and allow Krishna to take charge of the chariot. First, the mind is running the chariot everywhere, and we are helpless. Then we take the beat back and we take charge of the chariot. And then after some time, we realize this is very difficult. And then we give up. But not like the first time we gave up, where the mind was running. Now we give up and tell Krishna, take charge. That surrender is there. So that is the next level of chanting. But the idea is, don't have paralysis by analysis. Don't think too much about it. Just listen to the holy name and move on. Everything will be revealed at the right time. Whatever we need to know at our level of advancement to come closer to Krishna will be revealed to us through chanting. Pure devotees, for them it is revealed. Bhaktivinoda Thakur chanting, it was revealed to him. Oh, Mahaprabhu's birthplace is here. That was revealed to him while chanting. For us while chanting, it will be revealed. Just sit here and chant, complete your rounds. Don't have to run here and there. Like that. So at whatever level we are in, Krishna will speak to us and will guide us. But don't allow your mind to cheat you by too much analysis. See, if you do only Shravanam, you will say, okay, now Prabhuji has told, so henceforth, I will not do all this thinking, I will just do Shravanam. I will hear class, I will hear chanting. Shravanam, without introspection and thinking, without Mananam, that will only become a ritual and it will be only entertainment. And Mananam, without Shravanam, will lead to speculation. Both are needed. So therefore, what you are doing is very healthy. Listen to the class, study scriptures, and then also think. So thinking is important, but you should also know, you should be able to think so logically, and you should also know what not to think. Some things are logical, some things are illogical, some things are translogical, they are beyond logic. So mind is extremely crafty. Extremely crafty. Mind knows how to come through the back door. So we need to let go and surrender rather than struggle and trying to figure out everything. Is that okay? Yes. Hare Krishna. Yes, bro.
Yeah, I had a question regarding the analogy you gave. So the analogy that you gave of going to the first floor and then Krishna pulling. So let's say you have got that taste and you somehow lost it because of all the Maya or whatever. Then how do you bring that back? Because your mind is now chasing that taste which you got. So how to go to
Actually,
that?
whole bhakti is that only. If you see most devotees who are continuing for many years in bhakti, at some point of time in the initial days, they got a glimpse of pure chanting or pure experience. And then suddenly it was lost. So rest of their life they are searching for it. And they're in the first floor crying, Krishna, why did you take me to second floor and throw me back? But that is good for them. In the first canto, 6th and 7th chapter, Narada is a small boy. He was practicing spiritual life. His mother died. It's a long story. Then one day he was chanting and he had left home. Ekada nirgatam geha dvantim nishikampati. So he left home, he was chanting, praying, and suddenly Krishna appeared. He got that vision and he was ecstatic. His hair started to end, tears started coming from the eyes. And then Krishna disappeared. And then even, oh, what happened? Why did that vision disappear? I want it. And then again he sat in the pose. Hare Krishna. Again he tried hard. And he kept trying, he tried different things. But that thing did not come. Then he was crying intensely, and then finally he heard a voice, Akashvani. Through Narada, Lord is telling all of us. That voice told, Narada, little boy, in this lifetime you will never get that again. What you got. You will keep hankering for it. Keep hankering for it, and the right time, everything will be revealed to you. Keep hankering for it. So, Krishna, what he will do, when you keep hankering for that lost taste, Krishna being pleased, suddenly one day he will give you. But if he gives it easily, then we will not value it. Aap samjhe? So, I'll tell you my own experience. When I was very new brahmachari, I just joined the temple. One day we were doing, the morning Mangalarti, we do Tulsi Pradakshina. So, while doing Pradakshina, after offering water, all of us are chanting, Ya Nika Ni Japa Pa. Suddenly something happened to me. My body, the sense of being in this body disappeared. A tear started coming from my eyes. And I felt a sense of love and belonging and shelter which I have never experienced before and after. And time froze. And I don't know how many seconds it lasted, but it got over. When it got over, what was that? What was that? I want that. I want that. Next day I came for Tulsi Aarti before only. I was ready. Didn't come. Now 24 years have passed. 25 actually. 25 years have passed. Even now when I take part in Tulsi Aarti, I remember that. Krishna, Tulsi Maharani, help me, give me that again. But I'm coming every day. You see? So our Purnachandra Maharaj was saying that when he joined the ISKCON, he was a young brahmachari, came from Russia, America. And he came, and America, all devotees said, we are going to Mayapur Dham, which is in 4 hours from Kolkata. So he says, we came to Mayapur, and then they arranged a bus to go to different holy places. He said, I sat in the bus, and the bus was about to start, and suddenly I felt Lord Chaitanya's mercy enter my heart. I started crying. Tears are coming. I was silent, but tears were gushing. I felt Lord Chaitanya is embracing me. I felt Panchatattva had given me shelter. And after a few seconds, it all disappeared. And then Maharaj was saying, even now, every year I go to Mayapur, I'm hankering for that experience, but I'm not getting it. But I know, according to scriptures, that this is the Lord gave me a free sample so that I keep coming back. And that gives me faith, that gives me taste to continue during troubled times. Because otherwise we'll not value it. We'll take it cheaply. So like that. So this is the arrangement of the Lord, that He gives you a taste and then you lose that taste. But when we lose that taste, we are supposed to be in level 1, not go to level 0. Saying that, oh, taste chala gaya. If you go to level 0, then you'll not get. Level 1 mein raho hamesha. Sometimes Krishna will lift you and He'll put you down. I remember so many. See, last 25 years, my mind has troubled me. I've gone through a lot of struggle. I don't want to discuss all of that. But there have been at least a few occasions when I felt really sheltered in bhakti and my faith increased so much. But they were few and far in between. But they were enough to give me faith. Matlab, it is basically you are in first floor, Krishna lifted you to second floor and एक झलक दिखा दिया, वापस जा, वापस गए first floor पे. Hare Krishna. And then again Krishna will lift us, put us down. Because the whole life we have to be in that enthusiasm. We have to show enthusiasm. Okay? Yes, Prabhu, you had a question also? No. Yes. Gauranga Chandra.
Krishna Guruji, thank you. Amazing explanation and touching very deep topic. So, if those experiences are not coming back, is it because I am doing something wrong in my sadhana and my devotion?
Yeah.
If I
Aparad.
minus my mistakes, the experiences can be continuous.
Aparad, we have to understand we have committed offenses. Become humble about it.
Thank you.
But sometimes devotees go to other extreme. I'm so offensive. They think so much about the अपराध. कौन सा अपराध किया, किसको अपराध किया, वो एक अलग होता है, अलग वो पैरालिसिस बाय एनालिसिस होता है. Like, there's one devotee who comes to me, Prabhuji, you know that class you gave, I was speaking about so many important things. It was for me only. I think you know that I'm doing these offenses. We become very self-conscious in the name of, we become very self-conscious in the name of being humble. I'm fallen, I'm doing aparad. So there are offenses. We have to be careful of those offenses, not obsessive of those offenses. When you are driving on a highway, ghat section, not highway. That's mountain region. You will see there are many boards put up. Dangerous curve ahead. Then again there will be dangerous curve ahead. Or another, drive slow. Speed breaker ahead. All those things. When you read that warning, what do? Do you stop the car and say, oh, there is a dangerous curve ahead, I cannot go, what will happen? You don't do that, right? Or do you ignore it and drive fast? That is the other extreme. What you do, you see that and you drive carefully. Do you see what I'm saying? You see the notice and drive carefully, right? You don't ignore it and you don't. What are the two extremes we go when we see these notices? Stop driving is one extreme. Other extreme? Reckless driving. Maturity is to see those warnings and drive cautiously. Similarly, offenses, when we read about the offenses, sometimes we get, oh, offenses, oh, then we don't chant only. And sometimes, these offenses are all, this is, just forget it and just, that is reckless driving. Maturity means, oh, there are 10 offenses, I have to be careful, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Let me continue driving. Let me continue going forward. So that's how devotees can happily practice bhakti. Although we are committing offense, we can't avoid offenses. But the 10 offenses to holy name, it says, what is that last offense we read? 10th offense? It's also an offense to, no, uske pehle kya bolte hain? What is the 10th offense? To maintain material attachments. It doesn't say to have material attachments. Having material attachments is not a disqualification. Maintaining means we are not trying to clean the heart. We are not trying to progress. Because you can't avoid having attachments. But if you maintain it, if you say, chalega, abhi hai to hai, that is problem. So we have to constantly keep going forward. Means not maintaining the attachments. Cleaning the heart. Because after you clean the heart, again kachara will come. Sometimes people say, Prabhuji, once if you chant Hare Krishna, it's enough, no? So I chanted so many years, I'm chanting, and few times chanting was very good. Why I have to chant again? Because you are alive. And if you are alive, even if you chanted purely and all the kachara was gone, because you are alive, kachara has come again. Have you seen copper vessel? If you clean the copper vessel with that kasturi and lemon and tamarind, it sparkles. Keep it on the desk, on the table. Don't do anything. After 2 days, what will happen? Again you have to clean. You will say, I didn't do anything, but it was alive, it was there. This temple, our Chapati temple hall, morning 4 o'clock we do cleaning. So much kachara we get. And after cleaning the temple hall, cleaning over, and 9:30, after 5 hours, we again do jhadu, so much kachara. And evening 4 o'clock we clean, again so much kachara. If you clean the temple hall perfectly, but just because this temple hall is there in this material world, after some time kachara will come. So you have cleaned your heart by chanting the holy name, but because you are alive, you are in this body, material contamination will come. That's why it's an offense to maintain material attachments. We have to keep cleaning. That means we have to keep going forward, not getting obsessed and fearful of offenses or not neglecting those instructions. Just आगे बढ़ते रहो, चलते रहो. Okay? Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful class. The three things which I do to bring back my mind or attention is, I remember the verse in Bhagavad Gita where it says, sense objects are above, sense is above sense objects, and mind is above senses, and intelligence is above.
Correct.
Yeah, that helps me.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, like you said, I relate with emotion. Third thing is, if both first and second is not working, then I read Krishna book or Bhagavad Gita.
Beautiful.
Along with the chanting. Is that okay?
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I also try this. So if I understand correctly, there are three tools you have to bring back the mind to chanting. First is to remember the verse, Indriyani paranayur, Indriyabhya param manha, manasastu para buddhir. Parasastu para buddhir, manasastu para buddhir. Okay, that verse which says, higher than the senses is the mind, higher than mind is intelligence, higher than intelligence is the soul. That is one way. Second, you remember how you try to add emotions into your chanting. That is helping you to bring back. And if both fail, then you try to read Krishna book or remember Krishna's pastimes. Beautiful. Yes.
In Gita, it is also said that one must deliver himself with the help of mind.
Yeah.
So with the help of mind means we cannot reject the mind, right?
Oh, yeah, we can't reject that. You need the mind. Without the mind, you can't. That's why I said, no, I don't say mind is Golum always. I say Chanchal also. We need mind's cooperation. And in the Gita, Krishna says many places. The word mana in the Gita sometimes refers to intelligence, sometimes refers to soul, sometimes refers to mind. So, mind we need. In fact, we are right now healthy, not gone crazy because of the mind. See, when you are in the train is going fast, and you are standing at not in America, it doesn't happen. In India, you stand at the door and experience nice wind, breeze. So why don't you jump out of the train? Because your mind is protecting you. Mind is telling you not to jump. Mind protects us. That's why we don't jump off the train. Mind protects us. That's why you don't go and slap a stranger on the street. You don't do anything wrong because the mind is protecting you. But the same mind, because it is protecting us so much, it becomes overprotective and it prevents us from growing. It prevents us from taking up spiritual life. It keeps us in comfort zone. Doesn't want to take to spiritual life. That aspect of the mind is also there. So we are not rejecting the mind. It's like a spouse you have. You can't divorce the spouse. And you need the cooperation. As long as you are in the material world, the mind will be there. Because it's a part of the subtle body. So we need the mind. That's why it's not good to always give galit. That's why I said observe without judging. That crying of the soul, for Krishna, allow me, my mind, that don't worry now. That the soul and Bhagwan ka union hai wo. You don't have to worry about how to cry for Krishna. You worry about how to become aware of the mind. So, yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Yes, Prabhu. You wanted to say something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandut pranam to all. Prabhuji, just want to understand more about that verse in Gita ji, Bhagavad Gita ji. The Lord says Bhakta never perishes or something like that. Pranashyati or something. So
Name bhakta pranashyati.
Name bhakta pranashyati. In the context of the example you gave, someone is on first floor and God has lifted once or something, and then what is the relationship between these two? Lord once said once Bhakt he has become bhakt and never perishes.
Correct, he never
So
perishes, but he remains there only. He doesn't perish, doesn't mean he's advancing. है ना? So Krishna says, Naya Vikrama Nashasti, 2.40. Naya Vikrama Nashasti, Pratyavayana Vidyate, Salpamapi Dharmasya, Trayate Mahatobhayat. If you do even little bit, you get benefit. And then 6th chapter, 40th verse, Krishna says, Parthaneva Anamutra Vinashat Sasya Vidyate, Nahi Kalyana Kritkasya Durgatim Tata Gacchati. If you do even little bit of good, you will never be overcome by evil. So if you have done little bit of good chanting, you will get the benefit. But because we are not advancing, we are not sincere, we remain there. See, that doesn't mean, see, we can't be like spoiled brats, pampered child, you know. I chanted Hare Krishna, now Krishna you take me. We can't demand. See, the holy name has what is called as Vastu Shakti. Vastu Shakti means the holy name is very powerful. Even if you don't know the science of holy name, even if you don't know the meaning, even if you are not praying properly, the holy name will work. Like fire, Prabhupada says, if a child puts hand in the fire, the hand will burn. Why? Because the fire has Vastu Shakti. Fire doesn't discriminate. Similarly, holy name is extremely powerful. Holy name will help anyone who comes in contact with the holy name. Sanketyam parihasam va stobam helanameva va vaikunta nama grinanan asheshaga haram vidu. Indirectly, if you chant, if you joke about holy name, Hare Krishna wala ja raha hai, Hare Krishna. You say Hare Krishna, anyway you get benefit. So, Vastu Shakti is there. But the same scriptures also say that if you invest emotions and if you are present and more mindful, then you get more benefits of chanting. Getting it? So in Ayurveda also they say medicines, Ayurvedic medicines work, but when you are mindful and you are present while taking the medicine, it has more effect. Similarly, holy name will have effect. But when we are present, when we are respectful, it gives more benefits. And we want to be grown-up children, right? When we are very small children, anything you do, you are encouraged. And when we are small children go to school, their nails are checked, shoe is polished or not, it is checked, hair, how it is cut, it is all, lot of small things are. But when you go to college, people go what, how they go, there is a different criteria when they become older, right? Similarly, when we are new in bhakti, there is a different criteria. As we get older, we can't have the same standard. It is for new people. Holy name, Krishna is saying, anything you do, you are protected, you just come to me. But we can't keep holding on to that after 20 years of bhakti. We are supposed to grow up. Hai? Instructions for newcomer is different than instruction for an older person. Otherwise, then no need to practice only. Everybody comes, once you say Hare Krishna, go. Why 16 rounds? Why all this system? Because the scriptures also say, Bahu janma kore yadi shravana kirtan tabuto na paye pade Krishna premadan. You can chant Hare Krishna for many lifetimes, still you will not get Krishna. Aisa bhi likha hai. So scriptures have two kind of instructions. One for very new people, one for people who have spent some time. You should have the intelligence to understand, ये मेरे लिए नहीं है, मेरे लिए heavy वाला statement है. नए आदमी के लिए encourage. See, our scriptures do two things. They comfort the afflicted and they afflict the comforted. So if you are very depressed, then you read this shloka. एक बार chanting किया, benefit मिलेगा. Wow, then you feel happy. You are comforted. The afflicted person is comforted. But if you are very complacent, comfortable, you are not doing any sincere progress, then these statements are presented so that you are afflicted and you become serious. Are you getting it? The scriptures play this dual role. Otherwise, we will become complacent, no? We will not work hard to come to Krishna. Okay? Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the wonderful seminar, Prabhu. One difficulty I've constantly had is to be able to sit and chant. Whenever I sit after one mala, sometimes even in the middle of it, my mind says, you can't sit, get up, move around. And when I move around, obviously I'm distracted. Like today evening, I was sitting and chanting, and I was walking. I came to the kitchen, and my mind said, "Well, you're in the kitchen only. Why don't you make some tea?" So I made tea for myself, and then I asked my wife. I made tea for them. So, these kind of things happen. Or I do go out and look at the plants and this thing, the thing. So when I move around, obviously, it's distraction is there. So any tips on being able to sit in one place and chant, Prabhu? Otherwise, it seems like a big struggle. It's like constantly.
You can check your blood pressure. Sometimes because of low BP, you fall sleepy while chanting. Or if you have eaten heavy dinner, then morning you feel sleepy while chanting. So it's not simply when chanting. We can't give you techniques for chanting only when chanting. It is like a cricket batsman. All of you know cricket, right? World Cup is going on. So cricket batsman is on the pitch. He has to score century. No, but lot of things before that also matter. If he has taken heavy lunch at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock he comes to bat. Or he has not done any net practice. Understand? So, similarly chanting, it's not only during chanting that chanting happens. So what dinner have you taken? If you eat rich dinner, that's why many preachers, you will say many devotees, they avoid dinner. Because they want to get up early in the morning. They want to be fresh. If the stomach is light in the morning, then you can chant better. So all the small things, sleeping early, all those things help. And having good rest at night. So if the mind wanders a lot while walking, then stay in one place. But if you're staying in one place, you feel sleepy, then walk. So balance both. So I chant sometimes, I close my eyes and chant. To concentrate, I fall sleepy. Then I open my eyes, my mind wanders. So when my mind wanders, I close my eyes. When I fall sleepy, I open my eyes. You understand? So walk when you are feeling sleepy, and when you are distracted, sit down. And when again you are feeling sleepy, walk, get up. See, basically our scriptures say, Yena kena prakarena manha Krishna niveshayat. Somehow or other fix your mind on Krishna. Whatever helps you do that, do that. But don't listen to the mind that may trick you. Watch TV and chant. You can. So that's why you can't. That's why I'm saying it will not. Initially, it may appear. Oh, checking WhatsApp message may drive away your sleep. So let me check my WhatsApp and chant. That is a mind trick. That's how the mind makes ullu banata hai humko. So therefore, when I say yena kena prakarena, it means within the circle of what our devotees are recommending. We should not trust our mind so much. At the same time, we should do whatever it takes to keep ourselves awake and alert. And ideally, it has to do with our diet, sleep, rest, exercise. Sometimes doing a little bit of pranayama or yoga before japa helps. Like sometimes we stretch our body and then we sit and chanting happens good. And also, don't worry about listening to every mantra, every Maha mantra and every round and 16 rounds. Engine, when the train moves, when the engine goes, all the dabbas also go. So what I do is, when I begin my round, first 1 minute I focus on listening. I struggle to listen to the holy name. And after that 1 minute I give up the struggle. Let the mind wander. But the mind comes back to holy name. Because you have struggled, you have put your full effort in the first 1 minute, the remaining 5 minutes mind cooperates. Even if the mind wanders, it comes back. But if you begin the round only, let my mind wander, then the mind will go uncontrollably. Engine moves, the dabbas flow. So first few mantras of the round are very important. So struggle and giving up, both are needed. Prabhupada says, Bhagavatam says, Ghoda ko chala rahe ho, control bhi karo, give up the reins also. You can't always control the horse. You can't always let the horse go. Similarly, chanting, try to listen to the holy name, Hare Krishna, and then after some time give up the struggle. Don't worry, mind will not go everywhere. Mind will come back. Relax. Ho jayega. So both you have to do. Okay. Yes. One last question we'll take of Mataji. Question may be small, but answer will be big.
During the chanting, Tyler, can we read the Bhagavatam? Because
reading Bhagavatam is service, very important service we should do. And chanting is also very important service. Doing both together, I'm not sure. You can do separately. You can read Bhagavatam later and you can chant later. Or together if you do, no, the mind will, it's like, okay, if you are given Mahaprasad, taking Mahaprasad of Krishna is service. Right? Laddu Mahaprasad diya. That is important service. Right? And doing Aarti, you seen Aarti? Devotees do Aarti in the temple. That Aarti doing is also service only, no? But have you ever seen a devotee do Aarti and also time बचाने के लिए लड्डू भी खा रहा है और आरती भी? Have you seen any devotee do that? लड्डू भी खाने का आरती भी करने का. Time बचेगा.
Actually, Prabhuji, initially, as we started, then it's a very tough to complete 16 round because we start from 16 round every day and we try, we never break, we both. So starting if it didn't finish, then we start any movie and we'll do chanting. I know it's wrong, but we try to finish because we never to focus and sleepy. There's many stuff. Now sometimes if now suppose that 11 p.m. we want to sleep, but 4 rounds pending. So it's interesting to read the Bhagavatam. So on that time we do 1 round chanting. So
yeah, you can read Bhagavatam and then chant. That is good. You know, it inspires you to chant. But while chanting and reading, I'm not sure.
I do 1 round chant and then read the Bhagavatam and then meditate
Okay.
that. And then again second round.
Okay.
On that way parallel.
Okay.
It's okay.
It's like eating laddu, then washing hands, then doing aarti. Don't do both together. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. You need basically guidance. You need some mentor who will guide you to chant. See what happens, many devotees, they take up too much of commitment in the initial days, then they are struggling to balance. Better to go slow in bhakti, begin with 2 rounds, 4 rounds, 6 rounds. But we say, nahi, 16 mala, we begin with 16 rounds and then we are struggling. Ghar bhi sambhalo, bacche bhi sambhalo.
Actually, Prabhuji, my husband is a layoff. Then again we commit to Krishna. If it's a higher, then we do the 16 round chanting. Then he started the 16 round chanting during the time of layoff also. And he got again hired within 2 months. He got so that's why he tried to follow commitment from to Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. We'll stop here. Hare Krishna. Shri Harinam Prabhu ki jai.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, if we can stay back, we'll just one group photo. We'll take one group photo along with Prabhuji. So, so as you might have seen, what we see on the chanting session by His Grace Rajuvihari Prabhu is just tip of the iceberg. So, if you follow his channel, he has done many Japa retreats and seminars. So this is not even. It was just a one session, so we are just scratching the surface. So, and you know how much depth he has. So, Prabhu has written a book. If you don't have it, I will highly encourage this. Mind Your Mind. So this is a very, very important book, and we have some copies. Narari Priya Prabhu can help us, so please grab that thing, a copy of it, and we have some limited copies. So with that, so let's express our gratitude and thank His Grace Rajuvihari Prabhu for enlightening us during Bhadra Purnima, the whole 4-part series on merciful and loving Krishna, and also this Japa talk by loudly chanting Hari Bol 3 times. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for visiting Seattle, and we wish you all the best for your future preaching programs, and also we anticipate that you will come here very frequently also. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for your love and hospitality.
We'll just sit around. Prabhuji, you come. Just sit around.
सोना है 16 माला करना है बाकी जल्दी